Hello, and we're back with Under the Brim with me, John Mark Walker, and Richard Morrell to my left. How are you doing, Richard?
I'm doing really well. Now, what is the point of us having this camera on and these microphones? What are we actually doing this evening?
That's a very good question. I was just asking myself the same thing. What is the point of having cameras and microphones, Richard?
So, what we thought we'd do, normally on a Cloud Evangelist podcast, I interview guests on my lonesome. I turn up with my research done, and I sit down and I pose some technical questions. And
you do research?
I do research,
wow.
even when I'm interviewing you. It's quite a shock to the system.
That's a very sad state of affairs, Richard.
But for those who don't know, John Mark and I, we have been working together for more than a decade on everything open source, and you appeared on 5 of my shows now.
5 of them. I had lost count, to be perfectly honest.
So I thought at Summit, wouldn't it be really cool if it wasn't just me sitting at a table, if we could do something that bridged the gap? You know, Britain and America are always talking about this special relationship between Britain and America. So we thought
we too, Richard, have a very special
relationship. We do have a very special relationship.
But Richard, I have to remind you, it is just the two of us at a table here. You said you want to do more than just,
Yeah, but the thing is, we're going to have opportunities at Summit to interview movers and shakers, just like we did last year. And you were on one of the summits you did with Joe Julian, talking about cluster, talking about storage, and all that cool stuff.
It was very fun.
So I think what we do this year is we take it to the next level, and potentially we have. I'm thinking almost like a tech Howard Stern, but without the blaspheming and without all the
cursing, nudity, sexism,
profanities.
Yes, that would all be bad.
But I thought if we could have you.
Other than that, Miss Lincoln, how was the play?
I mean, I think what we could do is have a breakfast show at Summit every day, with you and I talking about what's happening during the day today, what happened yesterday. Have some special guests on there. We're going to have 4 of these stereo condenser mics so people can sit around a table and have a discussion. We can do high def recording, have that available on YouTube very, very quickly. I can edit that down, get it out the door. But I think it works well with me posing questions and then you also posing questions, both community and technical.
Oh, I don't pose questions. I just interject funny things.
Yeah, but that's why it works really well. I mean, all the podcasts we've ever done, the reason I've asked you to do this is, one, we have this natural rapport. I think people think I'm your carer.
my what?
Your carer. I'm sure they think I'm your carer. I mean, we went out today and people were saying, "Oh, there. Have you taken them out for the day? Bless you." and we've been doing this for such a long time now, and it works really well. When we've done the podcast before, if you look at the data that's come out of them, they're the highest ranking shows because people, both from the Gluster community and from the Red Hat community, the Fedora community, they pick up this stuff, they syndicate it, they retweet it. We get good figures out of it. But also, I think it works really well if I'm posing questions, but you're also asking questions yourself, and it's a rapport between the person or the 2 people opposite on the desk, and it puts them at ease as well.
Absolutely. And plus, I like to go on a good rant every now and then. As long as you allow that occasionally, I'm more than happy to provide it.
So the concept is that we do a breakfast show as part of the Red Hat.
Presumably before they've eaten, right? I mean, because...
Well, we'll record it before we've eaten.
Because you don't want people watching this while eating. I mean, that would be...
We're not going to eat and record.
And you don't want to watching them
after I've seen you attempt to multitask on numerous occasions in different continents, and it just doesn't happen.
You don't want people watching this while, during, or after eating. Let me put it that way. Before eating.
Now can you see why I think this is such a good idea that we should put 2 of us together on a breakfast show first thing in the morning?
If they haven't already shut it off, sure, why not?
Yeah. Okay. So the concept right now is that every morning at Summit, the 14th through the 17th, John Mark and I get together and talk about the stuff that's happened the day before, the stuff that's happening during the day, so that people can download that very quickly. They've already got the app on their phone. They've already got the guide that tells them exactly what tracks are coming up, what keynotes are coming up. But to be able to have interviews with some of the movers and shakers during the day at Summit.
And this will be a really nice complement to the sort of video shooting that will already be done on the floor of the Summit. I know that back in the OpenStack Summit in Hong Kong, they had people shooting video, and this turned out really well. And this will be a really nice complement to that because whereas those are pretty professionally done. We
won't be doing anything.
We strive to be as unprofessional as possible. But no, but in all seriousness, these are really quick takes, nice adjuncts to what the media team is already doing, and I think it would really add a lot to the program that we already put together because we can be on the floor, and if something comes up we can be on it and covering it almost instantaneously and posting it online.
I'm not getting friendly. I'm just checking we're still recording.
We are, right?
Yeah, we are still
Okay,
recording.
good. That's
So the concept is to have a 10-minute breakfast show every day of Summit with myself and John Mark talking to guests, but also with an agenda set very much jointly with Chris Moores, with Stephanie Wunderlich, to be able to understand what is the topic of the day, what is the things that they need to get out there, and to make that available realistically within about 25 minutes to 30 minutes of pressing the stop button on the recorder. So to get it out sort of 9 a.m., 9:30 in the morning every day.
So they'll wake up with us, as scary as that might seem, and get a read on what they should be doing for that day.
Yeah. And I think it's...
And the stuff they missed the previous day.
And the stuff they missed the previous day. We spent a lot of money last year on a lot of the video recordings, which of course take time to get out there. Having the podcast live and having them available on every type of smartphone as well as on PCs and tablets was a really nice filler, because it gave you guys the ability to have that lead time to get stuff to market.
But Richard, we need to pay for makeup artists.
I don't look good in drag.
I've
never seen you in drag. But
this isn't HD. HD
no,
video
this isn't HD.
Oh, good. Okay.
This isn't HD.
Well, thank goodness for that.
I spend a fortune on this equipment. This is nothing to do with Red Hat. This is all my gear. Seriously, I'm not wearing makeup. If you want to wear makeup, it would take me an hour. It wouldn't be a breakfast show anymore. It would be a lunchtime matin show.
Okay. Well, we'll have to make do with what we have.
So I think to have the ability to reach out to, especially a lot of the JugCon and FugCon guys who are going to be attending, a lot of the DevOps and IT Op guys who are going to be attending, and to talk to them very much, not necessarily on their wavelength, that's talking down, but to have something that's informative, that's professionally put together, that's available to consume, that's two guys from different sides of the Atlantic who've been doing this now for 12, 13 years.
Across the pond, as it were.
Across the pond, the special relationship. I think it works really well.
Sure. If we end it right here, it'll be perfect.
Why would we end it right here?
Because it leaves them wanting more.
Was it Reagan who said always leave them hanging, always keep them wanting more? Always keep them coming back for more.
I think that's any shyster in the world wanting to make more money.
Okay. Well, the concept is here, guys. We put together a voiceover this weekend on the professional voiceover artist in New York. We'll edit this for you, put it together, and see what you think.
Excellent. Can't wait to hear about it.
Well, I thought last night it was a good idea. You were still on a plane when we had the discussion.
Fantastic.
Aided by black coffee.
Aided much by black coffee.
Turning off for now.
Be seeing you.